Hey there! Let's talk about something we don't often say out loud. Why does self love feel so hard? We hear it everywhere, right? Love yourself. It's in Instagram captions, on coffee mugs, even in the inspirational quotes your aunt posts on Facebook. But if it's such a universal mantra, why does it sometimes feel like the hardest thing in the world? I want to dive into that with you today. Because I've been there. Feeling like loving myself was this elusive goal I'd never quite reach. And maybe you've been there too. So let's figure this out together. Here's the first thing I want to say. If self love feels hard, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're broken, unworthy, or incapable. In fact, the very fact that you're here, watching this, reflecting on it, means you care. And that's a big deal. But self love does feel hard sometimes. And there are reasons for that. Let's break it down. One of the biggest reasons self love feels hard: the stories we've been told about what it means to be enough. Think about it. From the time we're kids, we're bombarded with messages on TV, in magazines, on social media that tell us who we should be. We should be thinner, more successful, prettier, smarter, funnier. The list goes on. It's like there's this invisible finish line we're all supposed to be sprinting toward. But the problem is, the finish line keeps moving. No matter how much you achieve, it feels like it's never enough. And when you don't measure up to those impossible standards, it's easy to internalize that as a personal failure. I remember scrolling through Instagram one day and seeing this influencer's post. She was glowing, smiling, standing in front of some breathtaking backdrop. Her life looked perfect. And in that moment, I caught myself thinking, why can't I be like that? It wasn't just jealousy. It was this deeper feeling of, I must be doing something wrong. I must not be enough. But here's the thing. That post wasn't the full picture. It was a highlight reel, a carefully curated moment designed to look perfect, and comparing my messy, complicated life to that? It wasn't fair. To me or to her. Another reason self-love feels so hard is because of the lies we tell ourselves. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. We all do it. Sometimes without even realizing it. Here are a few of the lies I used to believe, and maybe you'll recognize some of them too. I'll love myself when I lose weight. I'll be worthy when I get that promotion. I'll be enough when someone loves me. Do you hear the common thread? It's the idea that self-love is conditional, that you have to earn it, that it's something you only deserve after you've fixed yourself or achieved some external goal. But here's what I've learned. Self-love isn't a prize you win. It's a practice you choose. Self-love doesn't come after you've reached a certain weight or landed your dream job or found the perfect partner. It comes from choosing every day to treat yourself with kindness and compassion, exactly as you are right now. Another reason self-love feels hard? We've been taught to fear it. I don't know about you, but growing up, I got the message that putting yourself first was selfish. That loving yourself meant you were vain, self-centered, or egotistical. And let's be honest, for a lot of us, especially if you've been socialized as a caregiver or nurturer, it's hard to prioritize yourself when you're so used to taking care of everyone else. But let me tell you something that changed everything for me. Self-love isn't selfish. It's necessary. When you love yourself, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it so you can show up as your best self for the people you care about. You can't pour from an empty cup. So let's talk about how to make self-love feel less impossible. It's not about flipping a switch and suddenly feeling amazing about yourself. It's about small, consistent practices that help you build that relationship with yourself over time. Here are a few things that have worked for me. 1. Talk to yourself like a friend. Would you ever tell your best friend, "You're not good enough"? Of course not. So why is it okay to say that to yourself? Start noticing your inner dialogue, and when it gets mean, ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? 2. Celebrate small wins. Did you get out of bed today? Celebrate that. Did you try something new? Celebrate that. Life is full of these tiny victories, and they deserve recognition. 3. Set boundaries. Loving yourself means protecting your energy. Say no to things that drain you and yes to things that fill you up, even if that means disappointing others sometimes. 4. Spend time with yourself. Take yourself on a solo date. Go for a walk. Write in a journal. Get to know yourself the way you would a new friend or partner. 5. Practice gratitude. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about remembering that even in the messiest moments, there's something worth appreciating. Here's the amazing thing about self-love. When you start to practice it, everything changes. You stop seeking validation from others because you've learned to validate yourself. You start setting boundaries because you realize you're worth protecting. And you begin to see yourself not as a problem to be fixed, but as a person to be cherished. And yes, it's a journey. There will be days when it feels easy, and days when it feels impossible. But every step you take toward loving yourself is a step worth celebrating. If self-love feels hard, you're not alone. But I hope today you'll take one small step toward embracing yourself, just as you are. Maybe that step is writing down one thing you appreciate about yourself. Maybe it's saying no to something that doesn't serve you. Or maybe it's just sitting with yourself, in stillness and breathing. And if this resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing you're doing to practice self-love? Let's support each other on this journey. Because here's the truth. You are enough. Not when you lose the weight or get the promotion or find the partner. You are enough right here, right now.